Right. This is a topic that I find it to be very, very interesting. In sim racing, we have this pursuit of spending money to be faster. We have this idea that we spend money, we could probably get a couple of tenths here and there. So I would like to test this in a very big gap between equipments. We're talking about the Logitech G923 and the Fanatec DD1. But before going there, I have to talk about the disclaimer. The disclaimer is really important for this video. The equipment you're going to see here, at least the main equipment, the Logitech G923 and the Fanatec DD1, they were sent by review by Fanatec and Logitech. I also have a Fanatec affiliate link below. That means if you spend money with that affiliate link on Fanatec, I will be financially compensated. So this disclaimer might give you an idea that I might be tainting the results one way or the other. And while you're there, don't forget to leave a like and consider subscribing. That helps the channel massively. But why am I doing this video today? I've been doing a string of videos in the past in regards to budget, experience in sim racing, what is important in terms to buy, and do you really gain any speed if you spend more money. Last year I've done a video comparing the wheel I was using at the moment, the Fanatec CSL, against another wheel that I was using before that, which was the T300 RS. The CSL ended up being faster in my tests, but the result was so small that would be compensated if I spent more money on the T300 RS, so I didn't think that it was worthwhile spending more money to get more speed. The Fanatec CSL does have other advantages. It has like a smoother wheel and more power, which would be good for drifting, for example. But in terms of advantage, like I said, I didn't think there was too many of them. So my idea was to compare two ends of the spectrum. One on the lower end of the spectrum, the Logitech G923, even though it's more expensive than G29, but then again, the result, I think it would be exactly the same. And then on the other spectrum, the top dog, or one of the top dogs in the sim racing department, which is the Fanatec DD1. There are others that are more expensive and more force feedbacky, whatever, direct drive wheels, but you get the picture. They're up there. One supposedly is over here and the other one is over there. Here's the experiment we're going to do. We're going to test my setup, a direct drive one, a DD1 PS4 with the V3 panels, then the Logitech G923 set, then the Logitech G923 with the V3 pedals. We're going to do 7 laps. 2 worst will go out of the window. We're going to check out the average time and then the deviation from the average, so we can check out consistency. We're going to do this in Laguna Seca with the same setup, 36 degrees Celsius track. We're going to do a hot lap so the fuel and tires won't matter. We're just going to do the driving. I'm going to give myself 10 minutes warm up on the DD1, and then for the G923 in both sets, it will be 15. So it's a wheel that I'm not really used to, so I want to get that also out of the equation. Of course, technically, this DD1 has the superiority. It has a better force feedback, much more torque, it reacts faster, it gives you more options as a driver. But if you level up the field, does it make any difference at all? The drive with my setup is familiar. The wheel is using the recommended settings by Fanatec, so there was no surprises from what I was accustomed to. My main issue is with this setup is lacking a bit of understeering feel. It's something that I've complained a bit in Assetto Corsa Competizione, but other than that, it's a combo that I've been using for the last 4 months, and I've been using the DD1 since August. All things considered, it's not too bad. We have a lap under the 23, and if we take the 2 slowest ones, we're actually very consistent. Now it's time to test the G29 with the stock pedals. With this setup, the drive was far more challenging. The lack of load cell made it a challenge to give enough pressure in the brake for corners that require a little bit of a tap, like corner 6 and corner 10. Trail braking was also more difficult, which resulted in the times not being as good as I want them to. In terms of results, these are quite shocking now with the Logitech wheel and pedals. Main reason for me is that I couldn't feel confident to reliably brake into heavy corner areas, and also in areas where I just need to feather the brake. Of course, with more training, that would disappear. There's quite a difference between pace and consistency between the set that I'm usually running and this one. But I'm very interested now to check out how the Fanatec V3s with the Logitech pedals, we're going to work together. With the load cell, a lot of the reliability came back to the driving, but the G923 works fundamentally different than a direct drive in terms of what force feedback is concerned, which brings some interesting results. Now, isn't this result interesting? With the load cell and the Logitech G923, I am faster than with the Fanatec DD1 and the V3s. I'm a little more consistent. I think we'll have to crunch the numbers with the Fanatec, but in outright speed, this one is being better for me at the moment. So how many of you were actually expecting this result? I was somewhat expecting a close enough result. I thought that the D1 will be slightly faster and the Logitech G923 was just going to be slightly slower. I wasn't expecting the Logitech was going to be faster. Of course, this is a very small result, but it shows you something, that a cheaper wheel, as long as it has a decent enough force feedback to give you the information that you actually require, it's going to be as fast and as reliable as the one that costs 5 times more. In terms of consistency, the Logitech G923 was slightly more consistent, not too much, but in terms of average time, it was 0.3 of a second faster than this first run. I did a second run with the Logitech DD1, trying to get the hints that the force feedback of the G923 has, but related to the DD1. So I lowered even more the force feedback into something like 20 on the wheel and 60 gain on the game, and raised quite enough the road effects so it gives me more of a seat of a pants approach. And the result was basically no difference between the Logitech G923 and the Fanatec DD1 in terms of pace and in terms of consistency. Because I've read the unholy texts, here is my hot take that is very likely going to tank this channel, but at this point in time, I don't really give a damn. If you want to be really fast or you want to be faster in sim racing, the things that you need is spend time behind the wheel, spend time practicing. After a certain point, and that point comes really, really soon, there is no reason whatsoever to spend more money unless you want to get more immersion. You are not going to get more speed out of more expensive equipment. There's a reason why Logitech G-wheel drivers beat everybody else. They're probably more interested in the driving and trying to be faster than trying to figure out what is the next biggest thing in terms of equipment in sim racing. And if you like this hot take, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Have a good one.